Welcome back, everyone. It's now time for Erik Dale Rundberg, CEO of Qiiwi Games, to give his presentation. A warm welcome, Erik. Please.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here and present Qiiwi Games and our strategy and our pipeline of 2021 and overall company structure. So let's start. I don't see the slide changer. Yeah, now I see it. So our business idea is to develop and publish mobile games aimed at people who live a daily life, so-called casual gamers. And our vision is to gild people's everyday lives and moments with our games. So a short history about Qiiwi Games. We started in Alingsås in 2012 when we created a trivia game called Qiiwi that reached very good success in Sweden. It was the first trivia game where you could challenge another player over the mobile cell network, playing 1 versus 1 and in league format. And it topped the charts here for a while. That led the way to continue our journey in focusing on developing word games and some more trivia games between 2013 to 2016. Where we launched a game called Words in a Pick, which gained more success in the Nordic and Europe countries. And we also released several other games under that franchise. We also transitioned our development to be 100% in Unity in 2014. In 2017, we listed the company on Spotlight stock market. And we also started the global launch of, back then, our biggest game project, which is our mobile trivia game called Backpacker, that we had developed for several years. 2018, we did our first acquisition of the Cypriotic game studio called Milliplay. And Milliplay had been focusing on developing match-3 games several years before that, and they had built their own match-3 engine that we call the K3 engine, and that is the engine that we build all our match-3 games on nowadays. In the late 2018, we established a new strategy that we call the 2019 to 2021 strategy, which basically consists of three parts. We wanted to create a better risk diversification between creating own IPs and games under famous brands. So we established a business area that we call branded games. Secondly was that we wanted to be responsible for the whole life cycle of a mobile game. Before this strategy, we were in publishing relationships, but we wanted to control the whole life cycle of a game to be able to get the best long-term margins for the company and also create better experience and know-how inside the company, which we believe is important for the long run. And the third part was to create the games going forward, focusing on metagaming mechanics, and I will talk a bit more about that on a later slide. 2019, we signed our first agreement within the branded games business area for the brand Hell's Kitchen. Our new word game, which was based on the metagaming mechanics, launched in October, and that is the most successful game from us up until now. We started the soft launch for the new Hell's Kitchen game in late 2019, and we also signed a second cooperation agreement within the branded games business area for developing a game under the brand Coronation Street. We reached positive full-year EBITDA in 2019 and also positive net result and cash flow for the Q3 and Q4 quarters. In 2020, we reached full-year sales of 108.4 million SEK compared to 24.8 in 2019. We reached an EBITDA of 6.7 million SEK compared to 1.3. So we had a good growth 2020 compared to previous years, and that revenue growth is primarily driven by 2 games, which is Worthington and Hell's Kitchen. We started the global launch for Hell's Kitchen in May 2020, And during the summer, we signed 3 new deals in the branded games area. It's to develop games under the brands Kitchen Nightmares, Midsummer Murders, and MasterChef. And we also started the global soft launch for the game Coronation Street, the deal that was signed late 2019. In 2021, Q1 sales reached 25 million SEK compared to 24 2020. And just worth noting there is that we had a positive effect of the corona in 2020, and we also had very good momentum with Worthington, and also a good start for the Hell's Kitchen game during that period of time, 2020. And in 2021, we have been focusing a lot on developing our strongest pipeline for the history of the company here in 2021, which we have now started to get to launch those games here, and I will talk more about that. We signed also a new agreement within the branded games business area for a game under the brand Extreme Makeover Home Edition. We completed a directed new share issue in end of January of approximately 66.5 million SEK. We started trading at Nasdaq First North on the 16th of March. We're in past 20 million players, and we now just recently started our soft launch for the new game Midsummer Murders, Words, Crime and Mystery. So a little bit about our organization. We're based in Alingsås, Sweden, where we are 8 people, focusing more on business development with management team, and we also have senior developers and designers helping and leading our cyberotic studio. The board is also in Sweden totally. In Nicosia, where we have our subsidiary, we are 45 people at the moment, and we have been growing there. Looking back 1 year, we were around 17 people there. So we have really been growing the last 12 months in Cyprus to be able to have this strong pipeline of new games we have now. In Cyprus, we have primarily designers and developers. We have also resources for our growth team, user acquisition, social media, and also business intelligence resources for data analysis. Our target group is casual gamers. It's primarily women 35 years up. They are in our games today. The split is around 70% women and 30% men. They usually play medium to short sessions, around 15 to 40 minutes. And our revenue distribution is, looking at the last quarter, we had 14% of revenue coming from in-app purchases and 86% coming from ads revenue. So we are very ad-driven revenue in the current business. We had in Q1 daily active users of 308,000, monthly active users on average 2.03 million, and on average revenue per daily active user at 0.83 SEK. Here's a picture showing our gross sales development per quarter and for the last years. And what can be seen here is that in the end of 2019, when we got games coming out under our new strategy, Worthington and also Hell's Kitchen, we have seen a really good effect on that, and that is also the games that have been creating the growth in 2020. And from 2020 summer and going forward to where we are today, we have been focusing a lot on developing these 3 new games for the branded games business area that is now very close to soft launch, all 3 of them, and Midsummer Murders have already started that. EBITDA development for the same period as a sales development, and worth noting here is during the Q4 2020 was a very heavy user acquisition investment quarter for us. We invested a lot of our surplus from our games into more user acquisition in primarily Worthington, but we also had 3 new games that started soft launches and global soft launches, which short term drives more user acquisition investments that later on creates better margins and positive EBITDA. So that is how new game launches affects the short-term EBITDA per quarter. Looking just fast on the global development, it is expected to grow with around 15% yearly, regarding how much purchases that are being made on the App Store and Google Play, like in-app purchases. So this is not including any ads revenue. It is expected to be doubled between 2019 up until 2024. And looking more closely between 2020 to 2021, it is expected to reach around 23% yearly growth. And if we look a bit about advertising revenue, how that is predicted, which is currently a very big part of our revenue streams, but advertising revenue is predicted to rise going forward when more and more gamers are becoming mobile gamers and more countries and geos gets better mobile networks and possibilities to have better smartphones, etc. In-game ad revenue is predicted to grow faster than direct spending in the next few years, and Qiiwi is very well positioned into this ad monetization mechanics of casual games, and that means that we are able to more or less monetize through with 100% of our player base, and our games are also built in a way to let the players watch ads to get rewards in the games and to progress in them, which they appreciate a lot. Here's just a summary of some of the top performing games in our currently focused genres. So we have Candy Crush, Homescapes, and Wordscapes. Candy Crush Saga and Homescapes is match-3 games, where Homescapes is more metagaming storytelling focused, and Wordscapes is a word puzzle game similar to Wordington, but without metagaming and storytelling elements. So how do we generate our revenue? We have our games free to play, so they are completely no cost to download. So we need to create the revenue when the players are inside the games. So they can either do in-app purchases, where they get virtual currency in the games to progress faster and get special items and objects. And they can also use rewarded ads to watch ads to get rewards and progress easier in the games. So on the left side here we have Hell's Kitchen, in the middle we have Wordington, and on the right side we have Midsummer Murders. So our strategy is focus on casual gamers. We do our games based on metagaming mechanics. I will talk a bit more about that next slide. We do our games, we have a good risk diversification between own IPs and branded games. We are very data driven, so everything we do in our games and balance them is decided by the data we have in the games and by doing A and B testing. We do a lot cross promotion to really let the players stay as long as possible inside our bubble and our network. We do work with M&A. We do see several M&A possibilities going forward, and we believe that can fuel our growth more, and also enter new categories that still targets casual gamers, which is the target group that we still want to focus on. Our long-term goal is to become a business leader of creation of mobile games targeting casual gamers. So branded games, we focus on strong international world-famous brands as we see it. And when we pick a brand, we really believe that the brand have a fan base and an virality by using it inside a game that will really give the game an uplift in normal if you compare that to working with creating a game under a completely new brand, that should be an own IP. So with a famous brand, you get much easier to market the game, and you also get a better virality with people that finds the game on the stores and downloads it, which basically is free installs. We reuse a lot of our earlier development and designs for these types of games to be able to create them pretty fast. So far, we have entered into 6 agreements. It says 5, but that's wrong. So we have entered agreements for the Hell's Kitchen brand, Coronation Street, Midsummer Murders, Kitchen Nightmares, MasterChef, and Extreme Makeover Home Edition. So we have a very strong pipeline of branded games in our portfolio going forward. And there's a lot of opportunities here to create more games on, and we get contacted by several license owners on a weekly basis regarding possibilities for new projects. So it's definitely a segment where we can grow if we want more, but we also want to continue doing own IPs so we can keep that risk diversification in a good place. So metagaming mechanics, it basically means that there is more things inside our games than just to puzzle a word or solve a match 3 level. So you always have some story to follow along, and you also have different layers to customize in the games. And that can be to customize a house, or to customize a restaurant, or to travel the world, and a lot of different things. So that is what we believe engage players more, and it's very popular against our casual gamers audience group. And we believe that there's a good growth possibility to further grow with this metagaming storytelling focus into other categories of games where we are active today. So that is something we do look a lot into also now. Our work process, when we develop a game, it takes around 6 to 9 months before we can start a so-called soft launch, where we activate the game either in a locked market, like 1, 2, or 3 countries, or we activate the game in what we call a global soft launch. And it all depends on how fast we want to test the game on specific markets, more or less. And when we feel safe with the KPIs and metrics in the game, we can start the global launch, which basically means that we increase the marketing spend, which means that we get more players. And as long as we do that, we get more and more data and can better and better optimize the marketing spend and do updates of the games, live operations, add more content, do seasonal events, etc. Which means that we over time have the goal to decrease the overall marketing spend, and then sustain and optimize and bend the curves to get a really good margin revenue-wise compared to marketing spend. So a quick view of our own IPs in our game portfolio. We have Wordington, we have Puzzleton, which is based on the Wordington engine and story, but instead of having word puzzles, we have match 3 in that game instead. We have Backpacker, which is a world adventure trivia game. We have Words in a Pick 1 and 2, and we have Magic Gifts. And here is a picture of Wordington, some story images. And here is our game portfolio of branded games. So currently we have Midsummer Murders, which is a word game made together with All3 Media International. And it's based on the world famous British crime series Midsummer Murders. It has started soft launch now, so we're in our 2nd week now, so it's very recent. Kitchen Nightmares will be a match 3 game based on the reality series Kitchen Nightmares, also to get done together with All3. It's planned a soft launch here in Q2, so we are aiming for June for that game to start soft launch. MasterChef, match 3 game, made together with Endemol Shine Group and Banijay, based on the world's most successful TV food entertainment program. and that is also planned to start soft launch here in June. And then we have Extreme Home Makeover, which is made together with Banerjee Brands, and it's based on the famous TV series, and will focus on renovating and designing houses and apartments for families in needs. Soft launch start planned for end of 2021. Then we have Coronation Street, based on a very famous soap opera in the UK, the world's longest running soap opera, but it's very UK concentrated, so that game is more or less for the UK market. And then we had the Hell's Kitchen game, which was the first branded game that we launched, which is based on the reality series Hell's Kitchen, made together with ITV, both Coronation Street and Hell's Kitchen. There's some images from the Midsummer Murders game and Hell's Kitchen and Coronation Street. And Coronation Street is a game where we really reused a lot of our previously made development. So that is a game that is built on the Worthington engine, but we have swapped out the signs to fit the Coronation Street theme and characters and story. So summary, we have 5 games in global launch with associated live operations that we work a lot with. 3 games in either global soft launch or locked soft launch. It's Midsummer Murders, Puzzleton, and Coronation Street that work in that phases. And development in progress is MasterChef Kitchen Nightmares and Extreme Makeover Home Edition. So this combined gives us the strongest pipeline of new game launches in a single year for Qiiwi. It's a really big ramp up from our previous years. And we really expect that this will give good revenue injections going forward, as long as, of course, the games perform well, etc. So just summary, we have a good risk spread between own IPs and branded games. I've talked about all the games that is in development. We are very cost effectively with our subsidiary in Cyprus, where we primarily scales with more resources. The market is growing rapidly, as pretty much everyone knows here, and we target a loyal target group, casual gamers. We work more with M&A possibilities than ever before, and we have identified several possibilities for us there that we're working on, and we believe that this will fuel growth and group strength for the long run. But of course, we also work against prioritizing quality in these types of deals. But yeah, we're working a lot on that. And also, to conclude, we control the entire life cycle of a mobile game. So that means that we have everything in-house, and we believe that will provide the best long-term return for the company. And that was all I had for the presentation here.
Thank you very much, Erik. Thorough presentation indeed. Impressive development. And I just wanted to conclude all the best on your continued journey. And thank you very much once again for attending the conference today.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Thank you.